So there's a big trend going around right now where you tell people what your schedule is with your life circumstances or whatever. So I figured it would be cool to make one for myself as someone that runs a bunch of faceless YouTube channels, has a personal brand, has a coaching business, has a couple other businesses like AI editing software, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and break it down, what it looks like for me making multiple millions of dollars a year. Show you one of my businesses real quick, just because I get it in the comments all the time. Devin, you got to show receipts. So I'll just show you guys a quick screenshot of one of my businesses. You guys can see at the top here, whatever that is. Past year, I've done about 100, like just over whatever that is, $1 million. And so what I'm going to do is I wrote out my routine right here. I'm going to go through it and I'm going to break it all down for you guys and kind of give you guys a better understanding. Because I'll be honest, like I've watched all the videos. I was one of those people that was trying to hack my way to, getting rich and trying all these different routines. And I always thought it was like the routine that was not making me successful. And I think everybody kind of goes through, especially us entrepreneurs, we go through a phase of like, we try all this stuff out and then we kind of find what works for us through all of it. And so that was kind of my journey. And then I kind of just found what works for me. And my strategy of doing this may not be the best way for you. My recommendation in this video is just go test stuff out, go try different things out, and then kind of see what works best for you and what makes you the most optimal. I'm somebody who optimizes from lack of structure a lot of times. And I can, at least when I'm in a little bit more of like a creative phase of my life. So right now it's like I don't know how many people work for me, like 10 full-time people working for me. And then, I don't know, whatever, like 20 or 30 contractors and different, lots of contractors that we work with and mainly like 8 to 10 full-time people. And so on top of that, then I'm also kind of in the phase where I'm kind of like CMO of my company. I do have a marketing team that I have that works with me, but I'll say I'm kind of like personal brand right now, focusing on that aspect. So my schedule will change dramatically over time. So I'll just kind of share with you guys what it is right now. Me making $3 million over the last like few years, me being 25, and this is what my routine looks like. So with that being said, I have kind of 2 different days. Ultimately, I have 3 different days actually. So I have management days, I have creative days, and then I have off days. And so I'll walk you guys through it. So management days, I'll typically do like twice a week. And so what that consists of, it's a little bit like, I say I'm an unstructured person. These are probably my most like unstructured days out of everything that I do. Or like these are my most structured days, and then typically most of my other days are pretty unstructured. So what I will do is I will wake up typically anywhere from like 6 to like 7:30. I don't try to force myself to wake up at a certain time. I like to wake up earlier so I can get some stuff done, but it kind of depends on what's going on and how much bandwidth or mental usage I had like the previous day. I always try to get up pretty early. I used to sleep until noon when I was in a super creative phase of my life. I don't like doing that anymore. So I try to get up early. Most of my team is on the East Coast, so they're pretty much already working by the time I get up. So it's kind of like a little bit of a weird concept to kind of get used to because I'm on the West Coast. So all of my team is East Coast time or they're international. And so it's like super late in the evening for them. And then, so I wake up at 7 a.m., coffee. I'll typically get some coffee or order coffee on DoorDash a lot of days. Like I'll show you guys my DoorDash order. Actually, I don't know if that releases any information out. And then I'll typically do something to kind of reset my brain, like just to kind of get my day going the right way. So I'll typically either journal or I'll meditate or I'll kind of just sit there and just do nothing for a little bit, allow myself to wake up. And then what I'll do is I'll check out social medias in the sense of like, I just kind of go and look at what's working for me. Not go and consume social media, but I will go and look at like my YouTube studios. I'll look at my Twitter. I'll look at Instagram, kind of see how everything's performing. So I'll kind of go and just kind of recap myself from the previous day. I'm in a phase of creating content right now and like creating advertisements and stuff like that. So I'll go look at how things are performing, and then I'll like start kind of greasing my brain to start thinking about those things throughout the day. And so I can start kind of thinking of content ideas throughout the day. It's just always on my mind. And then what I will do is I'll look at how many people are booking calls. I'll look at all of our sales numbers for the week or for the previous week or for the day before, how the week's going. And if we're getting closer towards our goals, if we're hitting like our projections of what we're trying to shoot for. And then I will then jump into a sales meeting. So this is something I do every single day, Monday through Friday. I've gone through phases. Like I have like a sales manager right now, so who runs all the meetings, but I'm in a phase where kind of sales is more important for me in business. So I try to stay pretty involved in it at the current moment. So I'll go to that. Meetings typically anywhere from like 20 minutes to an hour. Just kind of depends on the day, what's going on, what the calendars are looking like. And then on meeting days, management days, I will get on calls with marketing team, kind of see how that's going. Like I said, I typically do this twice a week, like Mondays and Thursdays or Mondays and Wednesdays. The second day is kind of less important. Mainly Mondays I do it this strategy. And then talk to attorneys, talk to my coaches for my programs that I have, like fulfillment, see how everything's going with them. I'll catch up with script writers. So I have like a script writer that I work with for my Devin Canup channel. I'll get on a call with them. I'll get on calls with like my video editing team, sometimes once every other week or so. Calls with business friends, kind of going through them and everything that they're doing, kind of seeing how I can help them out. Sales trainings, reviewing calls. So Mondays are typically like, I don't really have much ability to, like be creative as much, but it's more so just kind of like making sure that we're like executing on the vision that I have, that everything's making sense and everything's lining up, and kind of just going through everything with that. So that's my management days. And then typically I'll get done anywhere from like 4 to 6 p.m. Kind of just depends. Sometimes I'm pretty overworked those days. So I'll get done a little bit earlier. If I have a lot of juice in me, I'll kind of maybe get into a content creation mode a little bit at the end of the day and start making some content. And then I try to get my days done. Like around 6, I kind of just get tired. And then I typically will make dinner, hang out with my girlfriend for a little bit, for like an hour or so, and then go and grab and then kind of settle down for bed, watch a few YouTube videos, like just something to unwind. Then on my creative days, these are my favorite days. Honestly, I try to optimize for like the most amount of these days as possible, because it's like my favorite part of the business. It moves the needle a lot. It starts to build goodwill, and this is like the thing that's typically made me the most amount of money, is focusing on these days. But management days I found are a necessity. So my creative days, these are my favorite. So typically I will wake up, I'll do morning stuff, kind of just don't really give a fuck as much those days, just something. And then I'll show up to the sales meeting, I'll at least kind of just be there, kind of see what's going on, maybe interject a few things, maybe give them some updates that I have on anything. If any of the content's blowing up or anything, I'll kind of share that with them. And then what I'll do that day is I'll just make content. So today, I've been trying out this, I just test out different strategies. Typically it's been revolving around Twitter and YouTube videos, making these videos and like the bigger videos. And then I'm kind of just all day just making content. So like today, right now I'm batching these videos. So the other day, like a week ago, I just made 7 videos and I post them out the week. And if I had a really good idea, I'd kind of throw it into the mix just because I knew it would blow up. Sometimes I'll just create a quick video that I know will do really well. And then whatever, like today, I'm just recording a bunch of these videos and then getting my Twitter going again. I've kind of neglected it the last 2 days. We've been getting a lot of reach, like 400,000 impressions a day on there and stuff. So kind of trying to figure out a way to do it consistently. And then, just making content, writing emails for the week. Sometimes it's that, like writing emails and getting caught up on the emails to make sure those are sent out to like our email subscribers. We have a lot of subscribers on our email list, so we'll send stuff out to that. I'm trying to think what else. And then it was kind of just some loose tasks throughout the day that I'm getting caught up on, like some of the things that I just need to do on my end, sometimes I'm kind of like admin of my company, so I will give access to softwares, get a couple quick projects done that I have to do until we get an admin person back in my company. And then, make sure the VAs are all good, that they have everything. And then some days I'll even just on my creative days, I'm just kind of going through the business, looking at all the numbers, finding the opportunities that we're kind of missing, presenting that to the sales team, maybe making a quick few trainings to them. Or then some days it's making some trainings on Faceless Channel Academy, or making some videos to help people out on social media, just to help them make more viral videos and helping them do well with that. So I like those days. They're kind of just I just work. Anything I have empty days are always my best days. Honestly, they're my most productive days. So as in I just get a lot of things done. I move the needle a lot. Just trying to make overall the Devin Canup name out there more, just getting lots of content out and just helping change a lot of people's lives, networking with people, responding to comments. Just kind of everything under that category. And then off days. So when it comes to creative days, my favorite days are holidays and weekends, to be honest, on those days when people leave me alone. Then what I have is off days. So typically I'll do this once a week, once every other week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. Just depends on kind of what's going on, if I'm traveling a lot. I have a lot of kind of like more stress in the business or whatever, that happens sometimes. And then these off days, I typically just go do whatever I want. I just say, I'll just respond to messages throughout the day if I get any that's like super high level. But typically, like, most of the questions in my business are covered by somebody else. Like, everybody's pretty trained up on like how our company works and how my business works. And so a lot of times, like, I don't have to answer the questions. We have like accounting teams, and we have, fulfillment. Like, everyone's able to kind of give answers at this point. So I don't have to be super involved in that anymore, of like the little nuance, like answering of things. So I've been kind of removing myself slowly from those types of things and more focusing on like the bigger picture stuff. But my off days, I typically, like, I think the other day, it was on Tuesday, I just got done around noon, and I just went to the beach with my girlfriend, and we just enjoyed there. We went and got dinner and just had a good time. And so, like, I'll typically try to have a few of these days. And if I'm ever just not feeling like working, like, I just, and it's not a management day. Like, management days are kind of like non-negotiable. I gotta always, if there's no meetings on the calendar and I just kind of feel like enjoying the day, then I'll go enjoy the day. And I try not to like feel bad about wanting to do that. Like, I try to not try to push that away. I just allow myself to go and enjoy myself for that day. And sometimes I'll do it as like a half day, where I have like half the day is like an off day. And I just try to allow myself to do these just because, to just enjoy the day and kind of smell the flowers. And I found, especially when you're doing creative work, you can't really always force it. And so I just will then instead set it up so then, like, I just have to kind of tell myself that these are probably the more productive days, are these off days. And they typically are. They're probably like my most productive days. It's like those days that are the off days, there's no pressure on anything. I get to just enjoy the day and have fun. Sometimes they turn into content days where I just go and make a ton of content. Some days they allow me to catch up on other areas of my life, to get on the phone with my family, my parents, catch up with them, or get to spend time with my girlfriend and hang out with her, or go hang out with friends. And it allows me to kind of go enjoy the day. So this can be on any day of the week. So it could be on a Tuesday, it can be on a Thursday, it could be on a Wednesday, it could be on a Friday, it could be on a Sunday, it could be on a Saturday sometimes. Just if I have those days where I just don't feel like doing anything, then I go and do that. And here's the thing though. So me having these off days, typically when I have off days and I get removed from work, it gets me addicted. Like, it gets me like really wanting to get back into work, especially if like I have a lot going on. Like, I just feel so pulled and drawn to working on those days. It reignites the fire and relights the flame. Because I used to just, like, whenever I would have these feelings, I would just keep working and just ignore it. But when I would ignore these off days, or like when I felt like my body just needed a little bit of some rest, I wouldn't give myself breaks, and I would just start to burn myself out. And now, me doing this whole business thing for like 7 years now, I found that, it's okay to have these off days. Like, I don't have to feel guilty. I don't have to feel bad. I don't have to explain myself to anybody. And I just allow myself to kind of be like, I'll still get like the things done that need to get done that day. If there are really important tasks, or like we're trying to finish a project and try to get it completed, that's a little bit different sometimes. But I try to allow myself to have these off days. And like I said, sometimes, like a lot of times, these are the most productive days. When I go to like a beautiful resort, go hang out there, go hang out at the coffee shop, go look at the view, I come up with some inspiration, some good ideas. I write it down, I throw up some tweets or something like that. And it ends up, like I said, turning into a content day a lot of times. And that's where like a lot of my best inspiration comes from, and my best ideas come from, is those off days. And so this is what it's like. I'm my own boss. I have no place that I ever really have to be. And will this change? Yeah, probably. I have bigger ambitions and bigger goals, and it's probably going to require different aspects of myself during those seasons. But right now, I'm in a season of like building awareness, building brand. And I also have a lot of people I have a lot of systems around me. And I have teams like giving me scripts to go record, or giving me for like advertisements, or giving me scripts to record for my Canup channel. Or I have the ability to, I get invited on a podcast, or I am doing like lives and helping people through those. And so I'm kind of at a place where I am very leveraged. I definitely have a long ways to go ahead of me still. But I'm also like still in my mid-20s, so I kind of want to enjoy my life a little bit too at this time. Like, I'm very acknowledging of like the position that I am, the circumstances that I am, and just knowing that like life is short, and I'm not always going to be in my 20s. And I know that in my 30s and my 40s and my 50s and my 60s, that's like, those are going to require different seasons, like different parts of me. They're probably going to require more structure. They're going to require different aspects of me. They're going to require different versions of me to do the goals to hit the goals that I'm going to inevitably have down the road. So a lot of it's just enjoying the time that I am. And if I'm traveling too, I'll pretty much do the similar thing here. Like whenever I go travel, I'll go work at coffee shops, and then some days I'll go enjoy it. Like I was in Colombia earlier this year. We did one day where we went and rode quads, ATVs, and spent a day doing that. There were other days that were like throwing stuff around here. There were other days that, I was just working all day. Like I'd work a week in Colombia, and then I'd spend a few days and enjoy it, and then I'd go back to working. And I'd like to, like, if I do travel, I like to stay there for a month and then kind of get into a routine where I am, and then I get to, my off days, I get to be in a different country instead of here in California, which isn't so bad. I go to the beach or go on a beautiful hike. And then another thing I've been doing is on Sundays, I'll kind of let those be a little bit more recharging days. So I'll typically go on a hike with my girlfriend. I will go to church on Sundays and do that. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I am a part of a couple of masterminds, so I think like on like certain days of the week, I get on calls for those and then talk to mentors or talk to people and kind of just share what I'm going through. Not just inside of business, but outside of business a lot too. I think for a long time I was very focused on just like purely business talk, but there's all these other things that are around us, like our emotional triggers and who we are as a person, that are actually probably more the bottleneck than the actual business itself, that are holding us back from getting to our goals. And so just, surrounding myself with all these advisors and talking to them regularly to help me level up and to grow myself. So I have a pretty lax schedule. I'm very blessed and I'm very grateful, and I love the schedule that I have, honestly. I love that. This is kind of what it's like when you are your own boss and you get to decide what you want to do. I will say, I was in phases in the past where I was working a bunch, or like I was, I didn't have a big team, and, it was different on those off days. It was like no progress is being made. And so now, and then it was like kind of hard to get back on track to get things done. But now I have a team of just incredibly talented people that like honestly make it hard for me to be lazy, to be honest. So it's like when I have off days, like everyone's super understanding of that, like that's, it's just, I sometimes have a lot of pressure and a lot of stress, and, it's just good to have an off day. And then all that stuff goes away and you're like, okay, yeah, life is good. But then I have people that are just, super on top of me of making sure that I'm getting the things that need to be done. I remember watching this Iman Godzi video, him breaking it down. Is like, he's like, I don't have a chance to be lazy. It's like my team's always like needing something from me to get on a call, to review a script, to to go record the video, so then the task can get done and the project can get done. And I would say that was like one of the biggest blessings that I was able to install and build in my business, was like, now it's not all about me of like having to get things done. Instead, I have other people like help, like they just need me for something to get their project done. And I'm the one holding them back from doing that. So I just, okay, cool, let me go get this thing done. And it's just like, I don't have to think all day, what do I need to get done? Instead, it gets like presented to me of what needs to get done when they're working on their vision. I just make sure that we're all heading towards the right direction and having incredible people on my team, and that we have the right vision and we're heading towards the right thing, and we're staying consistent and doing the things that are the most important right, and doing the basic things right. So that's what it's like to be a 25-year-old millionaire living your own best life, and what my routine looks like on a day-to-day basis. If you guys like this video, drop it down in the comments. Let me know where you guys are at in your lives, what you guys are focusing on, what your daily routine looks like, maybe some of the things that I do that you're going to bring into your life, and how that's going to impact and change your life. So anyways, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys all next one. Peace.